Show. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to a Notre Dame is not putting a lot of guys into the top rounds of the NFL draft. What is the appropriate response to this from Notre Dame fans? Edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find a program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni out as well. Notifications on. You don't miss nothing that way. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. Don't want to see my face? Nobody blames you. Audio only. Solve the problem. Call-in lines. They've been popping the last couple weeks. I love it. Keep it going. 312-900-8815. Dial it up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. He the former captain. He the leading tackler. Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. Now, in regards to that, here's the deal. I want to broach this subject here. Talk it out, see what you guys think, and then this is going to be a big part of the Monday Night Raw discussion on Patreon. I know Mike has a lot of thoughts about it. I have a lot of thoughts about it. We're not going to break them all down off air. We want to get with you on Monday Night Raw and debate all of the nuance in this dynamic, because it's really interesting and there's a lot of opinions. So I think me and Mike are going to heat this one up on Monday Night Raw. So be there, be square, 7 o'clock Monday night. All right. As I'm recording this, maybe other guys have gotten drafted since or later, whatever. As I sit here recording this, only 2 Notre Dame players have been drafted. Morrison, round 2, Watts, round 3. The question is, what are the appropriate conclusions to make about the fact that Notre Dame is not well represented in the top rounds of the draft? That's the question at hand. What is the appropriate fan response? What are you supposed to take from that, read from that? What does it indicate to you? This is the debate, and I love it. It's a hot one. I see it all over Twitter. It's juicy. I love it. Now, I do want to start this by saying, because I know if I don't, it's going to be in the comments. Oh, John Morrison would have been around 1 if he didn't get injured. That was what his grade was. I acknowledge that. But he got injured, so he didn't go in round 1. Like, obviously, I understand what you're saying. I mean, so let's get that out of the way. So the reality is he didn't go round 1. But I wanted to cover that part to acknowledge I think he had a first-round grade pre-injury. Here's number 1. I think you're lying to yourself if you're saying that it's not a bad thing at all that Notre Dame wasn't involved in the top end of this draft. I think you're kind of lying to yourself if you're like, hey, we made it to championship. It doesn't matter or whatever. I think you're kidding yourself a little bit. Number 1 is it's bad for recruiting, man. Let's just be honest about it. It's like Mike always says, if I'm one of these top-end high school recruits, I'm looking at, does whatever school I'm going to end up with have a track record of putting my position group into the high rounds of the draft? Proof of concept that where I'm going, I know and can trust. They develop guys into top-round NFL picks at my position. I think that's a perfectly fair thing for a recruit and their family and their group to consider, right? So I think that's a legitimate thing. Also, is it a bad representation of the development going on at your school that you didn't develop any of these older guys into top round picks while they're at Notre Dame? But so you have those things in your head. I'm not listening to any argument that's like, John, It doesn't make any difference to me whether we have no guys drafted in the first round or 5 guys drafted in the first, or what is it? Ohio State had 7 guys in the first 2 rounds, I think, or maybe 3 rounds. 7 guys in the first 2 or 3. Wouldn't it be better for the promotion of Notre Dame football to have a handful of top round draft picks and have all these kids watching the draft saying, I want to go do that there? You're lying to yourself if you say that doesn't matter or it wouldn't be a good thing. But here's where Johnny Nuanced kicks in. Notre Dame just made it to the title game off of a deep, great, truly impressive playoff run. So that's where this gets tough. If you've been going 6-6 every year, nobody's surprised that you're not highly represented in the top rounds of the draft. Where this challenges your brain and your emotions is the lack of high-end draft showing, but bumped up against the fact that you had really good on-field production and made it to the title game and almost pulled this whole thing off. That's what we're bumping up against. The kind of frustration that you're not highly involved in the top rounds to make your school look great. But on the field, you had a great year. So what do you make of this? How do you process the marriage between those two fact patterns? One thing I've seen is pretty simplistic argument. John, all the RKGs from the Kelly era are phasing out of the program, and they're RKGs, so they're not going in the first 2 rounds. See ya. Thanks for your contributions, but like we're seeing the NFL doesn't look at those guys as top-end guys, and we got younger, more athletic guys coming behind them. See you later to the RKGs. I've seen that narrative. Is that lazy, though? Is that too simplistic? Do you expect more guys off a Notre Dame team that succeeded to the level they did to develop into the first 2 rounds? And is that a bad look and reflection? That's one way to view it. Or, Johnny Nuance, or this means Notre Dame played an elite season without a bunch of older all-stars. And that means the future's really bright for Freeman-era young guys that are developing rapidly. And pretty soon, we're going to have a lot of guys in the top rounds of the draft and continued success at an elite clip on the field. Do you feel me? Those are the 2 paths. So my question is, Johnny Nuance, can't this all be true? Like, why do I have to pick one or the other? Can't all of this kind of be true at the same time? Yes, I admit it's not a great recruiting promo to not see our logo at the high ends of the draft. I feel that that's true. But it's also true that the Kelly RKGs are phasing out. The evaluation to development on the younger crop of Freeman guys is good and getting better. And I expect good on-field results to keep following. I think that's true too. So I think it's truly impressive to me how far Notre Dame got without an older crop of upperclassmen, top-round all-star draft picks driving the engine. That's a great sign. Think about what that means. You often see these teams in the hunt for a championship and then all their best guys get drafted and it was senior heavy and they were all the playmakers and then they leave and you got to kind of reshuffle or whatever. That's not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. So I don't think it's a great look to not be high up in that draft, but I also think it's a pretty good sign of like what's going on with the younger crop of Freeman era guys, the way they're developing and where a lot of the plays are going to be made moving forward. It's not like you lost all your playmakers to the top rounds of the draft. Now you have an empty cupboard rebuild. That's not what's going on here. So yeah, it's annoying. It's not the greatest like bragging promo for the recruiting program. But I'm not going to worry too much about it because I'm going to let this roster fully flip over to Freeman era guys. And let's see how these drafts go moving forward when it's all Freeman guys and see some continued on the field success. So this is eye of the beholder type stuff. Glass half empty, glass half full. Glass half empty is it's a little embarrassing. We're not highly represented. Where's the development? Shouldn't a team this good have more individual players that highly thought up by the NFL? What are we doing? And on the glass half full, you made it to the title, and apparently you're not losing a lot of guys that the NFL thought that highly of. You should be good. That's a good sign for what you got cooking. Which way do you want to take it? Do you think it's a cop-out to just say, oh, RKG guys are phasing out? Or was there an expectation of the Freeman era to develop those guys to get them drafted higher? Or is that just is what it is? I just think it's really interesting, man. You go 7-5 a couple years, nobody's shocked you don't have guys in the top round or whatever. Like, that's not going to surprise anybody. But when you have a team this good, does it surprise you a little bit? More guys aren't highly thought of. Look at it for the future, man. The future is bright in South Bend. And I think these draft statistic numbers are going to change drastically moving forward. I think you're going to have a lot more guys drafted higher, highly thought of. But the juxtaposition of the emptiness of the high-end draft picks, but the season that these guys just had and what they accomplished is messing with people's minds. What do you make of this? And then we're going to get into a heated discussion about this Monday night. Hope to see y'all there. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.